Jessica Pegula gets honest about judging her fellow players as she waits to kick off her 2026 season. Jessica Pegula has not played a match yet in 2026, but she has still found a way to stay in the conversation online. While many of her fellow WTA stars have already started their seasons, Pegula has been watching from the sidelines and having some fun with it. Jessica Pegula jokes about still waiting to play her first 2026 match. The world number 6 skipped the United Cup this year and chose to begin her season at the Brisbane International instead. Being one of the top seeds, Pegula received a first-round bye, which means she won't make her 2026 debut until January 7th. Pegula joked about the situation on X, sharing a gif of Hank Greenspan relaxing on a couch and poking fun at herself for watching and judging everyone else before playing a match this season. She wrote, "Me watching and judging everyone before I've yet to play a match in 2026. Many top players are already busy on the court. The 31-year-old has not competed in nearly 2 months. Her last match was at the WTA Finals, where she lost in the semifinals to eventual champion Elena Rybakina. Although it is a long break, Pegula will hope it helps her recover from fatigue and that she will be ready to build momentum before the Australian Open begins. Pegula will face some tough challenges at the Brisbane International. Pegula will open her 2026 season against Anna Kalinskaya. If she gets through that challenge, the draw will become tougher. In the third round, Pegula is likely to face either Leylah Fernandez or Diana Yastremska. She leads Fernandez 2-1 in their head-to-head but has lost her only match against Yastremska. Then she could be meeting Clara Tauson or Ludmila Samsonova in the quarterfinals. In the semifinals, Pegula could run into Mira Andreeva or Amanda Anisimova. If Pegula makes it to the final, top seed Aryna Sabalenka could be her opponent, most likely. The two share a strong rivalry, having played 12 times, with Sabalenka leading 9-3. Away from the court, Pegula has also been part of the build-up to the tournament, taking part in promotional shoots alongside top WTA stars such as Sabalenka, Anisimova, Elena Rybakina, Madison Keys, Mira Andreeva, and Ekaterina Alexandrova. The Brisbane International runs from January 2nd to 11th and will be a good warm-up event to boost confidence and momentum before the Australian Open begins. The tournament will also provide some valuable ranking points and prize money, as the winner will earn 500 points along with $214,530 in prize money. Jessica Pegula gets honest about judging her fellow players as she waits to kick off her 2026 season. The off-season is a strange kind of quiet for a professional tennis player. There's no roar of a crowd, no scoreboard blinking judgment back at you, no opponent across the net trying to take something from you. There is only time, and time has a way of turning inward. For Jessica Pegula, the weeks leading into the 2026 season weren't filled with dramatic declarations or bold predictions. Instead, they were marked by something far more uncomfortable: honesty. Not just about her game, but about how she sees everyone else's. "I judge," she admitted once, almost casually, as if saying it out loud might rob the word of its sharpness. But there was no malice behind it, just truth. Pegula has spent years moving through locker rooms filled with the best players in the world. Grand Slam champions, breakout teenagers, veterans hanging on to one last run. In a sport built on individual survival, judgment is almost unavoidable. You measure, you compare, you file things away. And sometimes, without meaning to, you decide who belongs where. The quiet mathematics of the locker room. Tennis players don't just watch matches, they study them. Pegula notices footwork the way a musician hears a wrong note. She notices who panics on break point, who rushes their toss when the pressure tightens, who suddenly plays safer when they're ahead. These observations start as strategy, but somewhere along the way, they become opinions. She'll sit courtside during a match and think she's playing too passively for her ranking, or if she just trusted her backhand, she'd be dangerous. Sometimes she's right, sometimes she's wrong. But the habit forms anyway. The irony, Pegula knows, is that she hates being judged herself. She's heard it all over the years. Too steady, not flashy enough, doesn't have a weapon, benefited from resources, peaked already. Even praise can feel like a box. Consistent but not dominant. solid but not spectacular. So why does she do the same thing to others? Waiting for 2026. The 2026 season looms not as a fresh start, but as a continuation of something unfinished. Pegula isn't chasing validation anymore, she's chasing alignment. She wants her tennis to reflect how she feels, clear, brave, intentional. And part of that process has been noticing how quickly her mind labels people. There's the player she secretly admires but rarely admits it out loud. The one whose ranking doesn't reflect how dangerous she feels across the net. There's the young star everyone hypes, the one Pegula finds herself instinctively resisting, wondering if the hype is deserved. Then there are the mirrors, players whose weaknesses look a little too familiar. Judgment, she realizes, is often fear in disguise. The trap of comparison. Pegula didn't grow up needing to announce herself loudly. Her game has always been built on accumulation, points earned patiently, matches won by outlasting rather than overpowering. In an era obsessed with raw power and viral highlights, that can make you invisible if you're not careful. So when she judges another player, she's often really asking a question about herself. Is this enough? When she watches someone blast winners recklessly, part of her envies the freedom. When she sees someone grind endlessly, part of her worries about becoming predictable. Every judgment is a reflection, even if it pretends to be about someone else. Waiting for the new season, Pegula has been trying something radical, letting those thoughts pass without attaching meaning to them. Not correcting them. Not moralizing them. Just noticing. Respect born from proximity. The longer Pegula stays on tour, the harder it becomes to dismiss anyone. She's seen players ranked outside the top 50 produce tennis that would overwhelm most people on their best day. She's seen top 10 players unravel quietly, not from lack of skill but from exhaustion, expectation, or personal battles no one applauds. Judgment becomes harder when you understand how thin the margins are. A sore shoulder. A missed opportunity. A coaching change that didn't work. Suddenly the player you thought had regressed is just human. Pegula doesn't pretend she's above it all now. She still evaluates. Still analyzes. Still forms opinions. But there's more humility in it. She knows how misleading surfaces can be, both literal and metaphorical. A different kind of readiness. As the 2026 season approaches, Pegula feels less interested in ranking narratives and more invested in clarity. She wants to step onto the court free from the need to prove where she belongs, because she already knows. And that knowledge softens the urge to judge. She understands now that every player she once reduced to a label was carrying a story as complex as her own. Every overrated player had earned their place through work no one saw. Every underperformer was fighting battles invisible on a stat sheet.